We are live though.
Okay.
There we go.
Real.
We're live.
Oh, it was at the. Thank you. You know I need that. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Love and Pain podcast, where the Love Doctor and I talk about love, relationships, and everything in between. I'm your resident single lady advisor, Pain, who is an experienced single lady on a quest for balance. And this is the Love Doctor. Take it away, Chuck.
What's happening, everybody? Hope you're enjoying your day. And you know, the reason why I can come on here and you can learn about things from me is that, you know, I live this life. So many people come on here and they give their opinions and they coming out like they're experts, but they don't have any practical knowledge. It's all theories. People that know me know the journey that I've been through, from being out here being a womanizer for all these years and juggling different women, and now being a faithful, happily married man. I can help you get to the other side if that's what you're looking for, because I have practical knowledge and I'm actually practicing what I'm preaching. This is not a game. This is a grown conversation that comes with this. So y'all pay attention and y'all might learn something.
Awesome. I like that. I always love when you put in every time we do this, because it's just like, ooh, what is he gonna say? I love it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe and please hit that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all the new content we release. So let's get into it. How are you doing, Love Doctor? How's everything going?
I am great. I am great. How are you?
Man, you know what? It is. The weather is lovely. I went out. I got my walk in because, you know, summer is like what, 60 days away or something like that. So, you know, I'm trying to be out here in these streets, doing my single lady advisor stuff. How are you? How was your weekend? What did you get into?
My weekend was great. It was actually give a birthday shout out to my wife. She just had a birthday, and
Happy birthday!
Yeah, we had a great weekend together. We went to a nice little restaurant on Saturday. We had planned on doing some other things, but it was so the weather was bad here. Like, we had a lot of wind and it was raining on Saturday, so we was going to do this little boat tour thing, but it just didn't happen. I mean, it just wasn't meant to be because it was raining. And then yesterday, of course, we went to it was called a foodie fest. It was at the Las Vegas Speedway, and it was like a whole bunch of food vendors, and the line was long. I mean, it was really not a nice experience. So we had some good food. So I mean, we ate good this weekend. We just enjoyed each other's company, and what else can you ask for?
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that. I didn't do that, but there was a bit of food involved. My niece, her birthday was also this weekend. March babies. It's
Okay.
now funky April babies' term, but you know, when I was a March teen, we have my niece. She turned the big 7 years old, so she had a really cute tea party, which was just phenomenal. It was so cute. We got to get dressed up. And then unfortunately I had a relative who passed away so suddenly. So I had to go to that funeral. So that was a little much. But you know, after that, I actually just spent the week prepping for the week, meals and everything. So very easy. Can't complain, won't complain. It was great. What you got going on in the news? What's happening?
I mean, you know, the big thing, like I said, it's still Diddy.
Right?
You know, so yeah, it just seems like it's getting worse and worse, man. So many stories are coming out. There was a guy that he was on the I think he was on the WAC 100 show or something like that, and he was talking about no, he was on Corey Holcomb's show, and he said that back in the day he did a production song with Diddy down in Miami, and then Diddy invited him to a party, asked him if he wanted to take a Molly, and you know, and he was like, nah, you know. And then when they got there, they went to like the third level, and then there was a whole bunch of gay activities happening and things like that. I mean, people just coming out the woodworks now, like with stories about Diddy. So I mean, everything can't be false. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, definitely, I mean, he just needs to own it. Now, like I said, I don't know if if these allegations towards him are true. But I think by him being closeted about his homosexuality, I think that's really what hurt him, because you start backing up and you don't want to admit certain things that you've done. Now people chasing you with the truth. So he should just probably just came out with it, and just owned it. And then you don't have nowhere to go, because like I said, that guy who's pressing the charges on him, I mean, come on, he hung out with him after this stuff happened, and he was filming stuff. So who knows if this happened, but it's low hanging fruit when somebody's already been proven to be a lie or living a second life that people didn't know about. So it's easy to attack them. So who knows? We don't know what happened. All we can know is that, he was definitely a sexual deviant.
Yeah, I think the homosexuality aspect is probably like the least of his problems, because then you got the drug trafficking, then you got the sex trafficking, then you got the abuse, and then some people are saying he's got bodies on him. So intimidation. So I think even if he came out and said that, hey, I am gay, it's kind of like, okay, so is all the other shit true as well? Everything else that they said, is that true? They got his son involved. Even Al B. Shore came out and was like, hey, son, you can always come back home. But what I find crazy about this situation is like no one is coming out and saying, nah, Diddy would never do that.
Right.
Be Diddy. I have never heard of Diddy doing that. That Diddy tried to blow up his car. Kavito Clark says, Rumor Mill says that Jay-Z is next. And have to come back. But hey, Slim Gutty, how you doing?
No, I'm here. I was just focusing on you.
Oh, cool. Yeah. They say Jay-Z is next, is a rumor mill. Which I don't know that Jay-Z has done what Diddy has done, but I bet you Jay-Z's done some young girl stuff. I mean, Beyonce was like 18 when they started dating, and he was like, what, 27 or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
yeah. And then your boy from who was the dude from Rockefeller, he was dating Aaliyah right after R. Kelly. So
Damon Dash.
Yeah, Damon Dash. He was right after R. Kelly. So it wasn't too much better,
I bet you if Jay-Z goes down, I bet you Dame Dash is gonna be front and center, like, yep, and this is what happened. Because he comes across to me like he's a little bitter, a little salty. Maybe bitter is not the word I should use. A little salty about just where Jay is at and where he's kind of acting as though they did Rockefeller together, and but I also see it as a part of growth, because I feel like Dame Dash, he just loud and just too much. Like, I wouldn't want to do business with Dame Dash,
Right.
Not that he would ever.
I think his ego, he thought that it was him. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if that was the case, just like he said in the song, make another Hove. Like, where's your next talented guy? If you're a system, just like Berry Gordy, how many leaders he had at the Temptations? It was he had a factory going, so he was the one that was making it happen. So so when the artists left, that they were arguing about pay or whatever, Berry Gordy, he would just make another one because he had the system going, and Dame Dash couldn't do that.
I agree. They also pull up, and my part of the news is Diddy, because this is just so big. Like, they raided his home, right? They had a warrant, so they went across his home. They also had in the disposition paper. So Caresha, Young Miami from City Girls, who is a self-proclaimed whore with a W, her words, not mine, right? So in the documents, they said that on such and such date that she got on a private plane, flew out there to drop off some drugs so that Diddy and some of his cohorts could enjoy it. She fired back, I was doing something that day. That couldn't have been me, which legally, that's all you have to do is just really debunk the day.
Right.
However, she didn't say, no, I don't transport drugs. That couldn't be me. She just said she wasn't available that day. And she's dating someone like Diddy, and the money was important to her, right? So she's going to keep doing stuff as long as the money ain't
Keeps
funny,
coming.
which,
That's right.
It's coming to us, right? Which brings us to today's topic, right?
Yep.
Which is bump it along.
Yep. Does money matter when dating? All right. Let's set this off. This is an important topic for everybody. Okay. Now remember. Yeah. What's up? What's up, Charmaine? How you doing? I always got to send a shout out. But anyway, listen. Okay. Now in America, we are a capitalist society. We are the richest country in the world, and our whole country revolves around money. And since money can be fleeting and can be lost at any time if you're not prepared, for example, when we had the fall in 2008, when the economy crashed, a lot of people that were rich, they lost their money. It even makes the rich insecure about money. So we have to understand that our Black women, especially, I mean, it's all, women, Black women and white women, this applies to both. They think like Europeans. Okay. And what I mean by that is that a woman's nature is to look for security. And so in this society, the biggest security that a man can have is that if you are financially stable. And a lot of times the problem that we're having is that a lot of these women just don't want someone with stability. They have lost their mind and they want this fantasy type of guy that they see on TV. They don't want an average guy that's making average ends. They want perfection. The average man, and I looked it up. The average Black man makes a little bit over $1,000 a week on average. This is on average, not maybe every man that but just in America. And then the average Black woman makes a little bit under $1,000 a week. And we are about $200 like separate from our white counterparts. So, it's about $200 a week difference, that we're making. Now, remember, and we were just talking about this before the show came off, that some man that you all know named Kevin Samuels has put into a lot of people's head what a man, a high value man is. It's somebody that's making what was it number? Was it like $200,000 a year or something like that?
100,000, like six figures.
Like 6 figures. Okay. So, like I said, women want perfection. Now, when you see a man that's making, $50,000 a year, a little bit over $50,000 a year, if he doesn't have anything that's hindering his growth, such as child support, and different habits and things like that, in which he spends his money, then you can live a somewhat decent life. You know what I'm saying? If you're making that type of money, if you know how to manage yourself. But when people come up and they say that that's still not enough, then that's when we have a problem. Now, of course, money is a big factor when you're dating, and really it's available money, because even if I'm making $100,000, if I'm in debt, then I don't have money that I can touch anyway. So that money is debt. Even though I'm making it, it's coming out more than what's coming in. So we have to understand that, yes, money is very important, but it also matters more how you use the money and if you're smart with your money. Now, like I said, the benefits of having money, of course, you can go to the nicer restaurants. You can travel more. You can buy different gifts and things like that. And, but like I said, it still does not define the character of a person. But I think that, like I said, money is a big thing, but it does not guarantee happiness. But like I said, women are looking for security. And as a man, if we don't have any money or even have a game plan, then they're not going to mess with us. But the thing is, about like the money situation, that people will demean themselves for money. Like if you've seen the Kanye West situation, now you see he's got this white lady with him. He's a billionaire dude or whatever. Man, he got her out here butt naked. You know what I'm saying? She's doing like he's exploiting her everywhere they go, butt naked, just because he's rich. Now, if Kanye West, he was just a regular dude working at the post office, or he was a regular policeman, she wouldn't be doing all this. But because he's a rich man and he has power and he can flex, then she's doing basically everything that he says that she should do, because where else is she gonna get another Kanye at? You know what I'm saying? It's power, and money is money for, like I said, a lot of people, like, again, that's why they used that to exploit us back in the 1970s when they kicked the man out of the house, because they gave security by giving you a steady check every month, giving you Section 8 and things like that. So you don't need a man. So you already have security for a lot of people. And I'm not saying, like, because my mom, she worked, we went like that. We was in a working family. We struggled, but I mean, for those who don't work, you don't necessarily need a man because you have security already. You're going to have that check. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have your kids taken care of because, you know, and it's more actually encouraged that you're not with your man, because if you say that you're married, you're not going to get these benefits. If you got a man with you, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. So it's actually more of a security to not have a man that's available in your household. So yeah, dating when it comes to dating, money is very important, and it just depends on the type of mindset that you're in.
Okay, so before we go through all these fallacies that you got going on there, Kavito Clark says you got to have the right credit score to have genuine love these days. And then he says, no one, however you identify, wants to be in love with an economic sized person. Slim Goody said, I got my own security. It's called 401k. All right. So people bring up the welfare and kicking the man out the home. One of my questions has always been for this: were those men working back in the day? Were those men bringing in income? Were they providing adequately for their home?
Yes, a lot of them were. But remember, if you're only going by his income, then his income is not going to relate to rent being paid, food, and things like that. So you actually better just getting your check. If you got a guy that's making minimum wage, or he's not making, or, you know, he's a standard worker. So if he's not making that much money, then it's more of a benefit for him not being there. And then if you are on welfare, you try to work, any type of money that you make, they're going to take it out of your check. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, let's not go with the stereotype that all Black people were on welfare, because most of us are not. But I'm just saying, on the lowest level, that you could be taken care of. There is security there for you if the guy is not there. That's all I'm saying. But most of our women, we work, most guys work, but we just, kind of always attack the ones that are not working, So no, that's the only reason why I said it. I was just saying that if you did not work, then you do have a security blanket that will take care of you. And in these other countries, is not necessarily like that.
So I mean, it's just hard. Like, women back then, if your home is adequately taken care of, it's hard for me to think I'm gonna go get on welfare and adhere to all these restrictions, even though my kids are adequately taken care of. The food is there. I don't have to struggle. Things are right. So I would love to talk to people during that time. I know the ongoing conversation of men were just being kicked out the home, but it's painted like these guys were just really doing their job. They were taking care of their home. And then for some reason, this woman was like, you know what? I'm going to go get the government involved. I also feel like it's kind of insulting to Black women to kind of accept that point of view, because you're basically saying that, not you as in Chuck, but you as in people out there are saying that Black women aren't smart enough and that we got tricked into welfare, when to me, it sounds like these ladies were in need. They were struggling, so they needed to go get that extra help, which the government and initially the Black Panthers, right? They came up with welfare initially to help out, because they knew that people they were barely making it. The government got
they were feeding the kids and stuff like that. They had programs for poor people and things like that.
Right, which was a lot of Black people. A lot of Black people were poor during that time because of just slavery. Everything stands for slavery. All right, so just to clear that out. Financially, we were not looking for perfection. All right, we're not looking for perfection. And I think a lot of people listen to the small few or an ideal world. Ideally, I would love to get with a man who's going to pay for everything. I think men would ideally love to get with a woman who's going to pay for everything. You never hear from Stedman. Stedman is never out here on the internet saying shiz about Oprah because she got money. But I guarantee you, if Oprah didn't have that money, I don't know that Stedman would be with Oprah. All right. If I had money, I could probably pull way more than without. People love money. People want to live in security. People don't want to have to work super, super hard. People don't want to struggle. And I feel like Black people are used to living in a life of struggle. And we are like, well, as long as we're in love, it doesn't matter. But like, you've been broke before, right? You've been like struggled, right?
Absolutely.
Were you the nicest person when you were struggling?
No, I was always the same person that I am today. I never changed the person that I was. regardless, because like I told you, my
more
presence,
frustrated.
my presence was always valuable. So I was going to be the same person, whether I was broke or when I had a lot of money. Regardless, I was always me.
I'm not saying do you change as your character change. All right, I'm gonna be honest. When my bills are stressed out, when my bills are I'm on a cusp of being stressed out, or my bills are not paid, or my money is funny, I'm stressed, right? I'm not trying to have sex and my bills are not paid. I'm not trying to sit here and go out and have a good time when my bills are being paid. My only focus is how can I get those bills paid? Because I'm living. He was nice when he was broke. He was nice when he was.
I'm nice now. What are you talking about? I wasn't different. That was the question. I'm nice now. So
when you are stressed, when you see it, a lot of Black men, when they don't have money, they're a bit more stressed. They're stressed out. Who wants to live in stress if you don't have to live in stress? You know, you might be the anomaly, but most people, when they don't have money, that's like the fourth, fifth reason why people divorce, because of finances. That's how important finances are. But also on the flip side, it's not about you getting with someone who makes six figures. I don't think most Black women are looking for someone who gets six figures, but I don't think most Black women want to take care of themselves and a man. She said, I'm not saying you're different. You've always been nice. Oh,
Thank you, Ms. Riesling.
You've always been nice. The anomaly. Because I know a lot of guys who've been stressed, and not that you're mean, but you're stressed. Stress comes out in different ways. You talk to people a little bit differently when you're stressed. You know, you jump to certain conclusions a bit more when you're stressed. Women are looking for somebody. Women are making, you are in your stats, were you saying that men are making more than women, or women are making more than men?
Men are making more than women on average.
Okay.
That are working class. Right?
Yeah. That are working class. Okay. Right. All women are saying is just make what I make or greater. Be in the arena where I'm at or greater. If I'm making 100,000, you should be making near that one or greater. How can we build if you're making 20 grand and I'm making 100K? If anything, I'm gonna be filling that gap, that 80,000 gap between us.
But see, this is where a lot of women miss the point here. Okay. Where things are never going to be perfect. Like I said, now these type of theories have been theorized on Married at First Sight. If you ever watch Married at First Sight, it'll show they start off, they're matched up perfectly on paper. Like their incomes are similar, similar backgrounds, similar interests and everything. But when they bring it together, their success rate is very low. So it's not necessarily that somebody's making the same money as you. It's all about the compatibility of that person. Like I said, if he's making 20, but he's building a plan, then, you know, you might help him get to where he might make 500. You know what I'm saying? If he's that type of person, like I told you, listen, and I'm gonna break my story down for you again, for those that may not heard it. And a lot of people do know it. But like I said, when I had my shop, okay, and really what my shop was, I had it in the hood. It was kind of in the hood. It was on Mock Road. It was in a good spot. I wanted it to be in the hood because I knew that my primary customers were going to be Black. And my most loyal customers were Black women. And that's just a fact. I'm not coming down on the brothers, but my most loyal customers were Black women. I would say 75% of my customers were Black women because, you know, a lot of times they, like I said, they take care of the bills, things that need to be done. They bring it to me or whatever the case may be. But remember, so I basically had a house that was in the middle of the hood that the door was open all the time. So when there was so many different women that came in there, and when they came in there, they seen me that I'll being a different person. Remember, I had 5 different cars. I had an old school car, I had a Lexus, I had a truck. You know what I'm saying? I was rolling. I was very successful. Women would just come in there. Sometimes after they would bring the computer, they meet me and stuff like that. They would come in there just to have a conversation with me. And they would sometimes come in there consistently having a conversation with me. And after a while, they would get to the point to where they would be in love with me. You feel me? I'm serious. And it was not they were in love with me. It was because they were in love with what I represented, because I was successful at that time and everything. Now, remember, they try to make it seem like it's so hard to take care of bills and everything. and all that. It's not that hard. I was taking care of the shop bills and my home bills. I didn't even care about what my wife was making. She was hiding money the whole time. That's a different story. But it didn't matter to me because I was doing it. But like I said, if you're an average man that you don't have a drug problem, you're not getting child support taken out your check, you could get a serviceable job that you can make money and take care of your bills. It's nothing. All it is going to work. That's not a big deal that they try to make it out to be. And it was funny because I thank you, because when times that I was struggling, I would always be hearing people like talk all this stuff like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got to get a job, this and that or whatever. But sometimes, if you got a record, if you already got strikes against you and whatnot, then things don't necessarily, it's not just that easy. Just like people say, well, you should just move. You might not have the resources to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, listen, fast forward to when my life changed. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, remember, when I was married, I was cheating the whole time. Like I said, I already said that. But again, at the same time, I was making a great deal of money. Towards the end of the marriage, my wife stopped working. She was working for me because we were doing this eBay thing, and she would be the one that would do the shipping. I would source everything and like do all the description. All she had to do was package up the stuff and take it to the post office. That's how we ended up doing it at the end. I was rolling. So, but she knew I was cheating the whole time. Now remember, I was the breadwinner. So she actually I think she looked over that I was cheating. You know what I'm saying? Because she had security. We had money. We was doing whatever we wanted to do. But when they raided my shop, and I mean to tell you, as soon as they raided my shop, she was talking about divorce. And she hadn't even brought that up before. Because at the end of the day, her security was the most important thing to her. Because, like I said, while I was rolling and we was comfortable, she looked over the cheating because she was secure in the household and whatnot. But when things start being bliss, then no, she wasn't going to tolerate me, cheating and all that stuff right there. She made her move right when I got busted. And you can ask anybody in my family. So, like I said, money plays a big part, man, but don't just sell yourself out for money. If she wasn't happy, I would have respected it more if she would have just left, and made it a big deal or whatever. But don't sit up there and accept what I'm doing because I'm making money. And then when things happen, then now all of a sudden you leave and you abandon the ship. You know what I'm saying? But people just like, money is not everything. Like I said, money is probably one of the most important things that you can have in this society, but knowledge is greater than money, because with knowledge, you can come back from any situation that you're in. Like I said, remember, it was a computer doctor. I created that out of thin air. You think I can't create another venture? You got to look at the person that you're dealing with. Like I said, like you said, $100,000. Now, if I would have met you coming up and you was making that $100,000, we gonna plan. What we could do? Like, all you got to do is follow my lead, or let's plan this together, and we can conquer the world together. But y'all don't think like that. Y'all just like, oh, he making. But you got to look at his mentality and how he handles his business.
Someone said to me, and I agree. They said, I can't live comfortable in life on ambition and minimum wage. and that makes sense to me. Now, in your wife,
it ain't got nothing to do with minimum wage, though.
In your wife's situation, it sounds like to me she knew you were cheating, right?
Yeah. She knew.
So, right. So she probably wanted to leave anyway, but then you started making money, and it was like,
why did she leave then? See, I don't respect that. That means you were just there for money.
So get cheated on by a broke person, or get cheated on by somebody who can keep you secure.
But see, this is the thing. See, that's y'all's problem. Y'all only want to do when he's winning. You see what I'm saying? That's where I got the problem with. That's why when I'm with new relationships and stuff like that, I'm gonna test you off the bat to see if you're just trying to like be money hungry or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm saying. Y'all only want somebody when he's winning.
I mean, again, like cheating on her.
No, right. But why didn't she leave then? Why wait until I'm at my lowest point and then now you want to leave? You know what I'm saying?
Because it's the same thing people could say about the cheating. Why not leave? If you're going to cheat, why stay? Like, there's all kinds of reasons. Like, do I agree with what she did? Nah. Like, I don't want that to be the part. I don't agree with that at all. But like, again, she probably was ready to leave. You started balling, and it's like, well, if he's gonna keep, as long as and that would be my thought process at a certain point. Like, okay, he gonna keep cheating on me, but I'm also being well taken care of. And depending on where she's at mentally, because you got some women who think all men cheat. What's the difference of me being with you as a cheater who's taking care of me financially, and me being with Joe broke schmo who's gonna cheat on me and not take care of me financially? I might as well just stick it out with him and get what I can get. Is it right? No, but neither is the cheating aspect of it. So I don't agree.
I admitted my flaws. I already know.
Someone said that's how revenge. She said that's how revenge works.
Here we go. And you know what? Not to change the subject, but I've always noticed that women will always, y'all add up all the things that you've been wronged on and everything, and y'all put it in y'all's bank. And then when y'all at the end of the thing, y'all try to just throw everything. Yeah,
we owe. Because you know what? It feels like men don't feel the same way, or it does. For me, when I was during that space mentally, it felt like men don't care about how you feel. They can't relate to how you feel. They don't care to how you feel. They don't care about your emotions. They don't show emotions. So then it becomes, all right. He don't care about how I feel. He don't care about how this is breaking me down mentally. You know what? F him. Let me see what I can get out of him. And then the mindset changes from let me be that loving woman who's there for him no matter what, to, you know what? Let me see what I can get out of it. You know, and it's not right. It's not right. I don't agree with it, but that's what happens when you as a woman stop believing in love. You think about finances versus there's men out there who don't trust women no matter what. But they deal with women because she looks really, really good, and he likes how she's on his arm, and he's not gay, right? But the minute she gains too much weight, the minute she doesn't look the way that he wants her to look, he gonna be out the door. Or there's some men, like when we talk about Kevin Samuels again, where he talks about if you make a certain amount, you should be allowed to cheat. You should be allowed to be able to cheat because you make this certain amount. But in the same token of you being able to cheat because you make a certain amount, you also have to understand as soon as you're no longer making that amount anymore, cheating is out the window. Like you, and I agree. Like if you're broke, there is no way you should be out here pleasing everybody because I still got to work. All right, but that's a whole. I think love is great. I think love is wonderful, but love is also fleeting. Because there's some days that you're not going to be in love with this person. There's some days where you're going to downright hate this person that you're with, or not even hate, that you're just like, you're not really a fan of this person today, right?
Nah, but Champagne, that's not love though. Because listen, I'm gonna just tell you. Listen, no. If you love somebody, you're gonna love them. Like I said, what you said, you might not like this person. Yeah. I don't be liking my kids sometimes. They be getting on my nerves. Just like my youngest right now. Oh, she in a little stage where she talking stuff. I don't like her right now, but I still love her.
Exactly.
I'm always have her best interest at heart. So you can't. So if you love somebody, you love them. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't give adults unconditional love like you give children unconditional love. It's two separate type of loves.
Why not?
Because you're an adult, you know better. Children are still learning.
Listen, man. Until you die, you're gonna always make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So if our love is just based on if I make a mistake, now I ain't saying cheating and stuff like that, you know, which is a complete, you know, different category. But I'm just saying, like, love, if you love somebody, you love them, man. Like love should never be fleeting if it's true, you know.
When but if somebody is, I mean chemical. There's the chemical of I'm in love with you. We're happy.
That's right? Not that the chemical thing is an infatuation. That's not love.
Correct. But it's a part of
that's
love.
That's a feeling. Yeah.
It's a feeling, right? Love is an action.
Love is actions.
Love is an action, right? But what I'm saying is that there's some days, right, that you're not going to have that infatuation or really want to be around that individual, right? Or there's some days where you might feel like, why are we even together? You'll still do the things of the love, but maybe you're not feeling this person, correct, right? You need more than love to get you through things. Right. Especially with things like, go ahead.
It's an action. Right? That's what I'm saying. You know, you're talking about, you're mixing up love as a feeling. Love is not just, oh, I love you. No, love is, oh, I love you. So I'm not going to let you struggle. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to make this thing happen. So we're going to come up together. You talking about it's more than just love. No, if you
It
love
is
somebody,
love.
just like when you love your baby, you're going to care for your child. You're going to make sure you got diapers. You're going to feed it and things like that. That's what love is. It's not a feeling.
Exactly.
So
Love is
thank
a
you.
feeling as
No, so
well.
you
Love is
telling
a
me
feeling as well.
no,
It can be
no,
both.
you're talking about an emotion. I'm talking about when you love somebody, like just like me and my mom. Let's just say this. Let's just talk
Okay.
about my mom in general. She's not an affectionate person. You ain't gonna get my mom to be emotional. She might talk stuff and things like that, but her love is shown through actions. She
Okay.
ain't. My mom is a rock. She ain't never wavered towards me, no matter what I did. She was always in my corner. You know what I'm saying? And that was because she loved me. You know what I'm saying? It was not that she was just going to say, "Oh, I love you." Just like if you at the church, they don't just say, "Hey, praise the Lord." You got to pass that collection plate, dog. If you love something, then you're going to spend your money on it. You're going to take action and make sure that it's taken care of. So if you're saying you need more than love, then I don't know what else you need, because love, if they really love you, they're going to take care of you. They're not going to hurt you. They're going to protect you. That's what love is. So no, love is everything. And you're talking about just a feeling.
You can love somebody, right? But you need more than love to survive. Love is not enough.
You mean more than the emotions?
You need more than emotions. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I agree with that part.
You need similar ideology. You could love somebody all day long, but if you guys don't have similar ideologies, if y'all not on the same page, you can't make that work. So what I'm saying is, you need good finances to go along. Why is the pros, athletes, and pastors people with cheating? Because they're comfy. They know. Yeah. exactly. But that's the type of setup for that. But I don't believe that's everyone. She said, wives of pro athletes and pastors beat up with cheating because they're comfy. They know. But what I'm saying about it, love is not being enough. You need more people get together based off just that love, just off of that feeling of love. Hey, I love you. I want to be with you, right? And you show your actions of love, but I take care of you, right? But if you guys don't have similar goals, similar viewpoints, similar ways to how you move through life,
compatibility.
It's not going to work.
Right.
Compatibility is a part of it. Long-term goal is a part of it, right? For instance, I know that when I get older, my parents are going to live with me. That's not going to change. So if I get with the dude, he has to understand that, and he can love me a lot. But if he's not on track with that, we're going to get divorced because he's not on track with that. Same thing with finances. Your finances are important because, one, not just the fact that you need money to survive, period. A lot of people are content, especially Black people are content with just living in struggle. Hey, we got enough just to live day to day. And you know what? For some people, that's cool, right? For some other people, if you have goals in your future, especially for my kids, I don't want my kids to have to go through life and just be with somebody just to make it. I want my children to have the time to be able to select a mate that's really good for them. And that goes with money. That comes with money. Marriage initially was not about love. Marriage was about combining property, combining powers, combining strength. And I think it was an institution. It was a point. You didn't marry people because you loved them. You married people because it was going to make the family grow stronger. It was going to make the family go more powerful. And now we throw in the love thing, which is great. But we also need to look at what are our goals for my family? What are our goals for these people? And that's where money comes in. We got to stop being okay with just getting by.
But see, that's what I'm saying. And that's when you talk about the similar mindset. Now, you got to remember that everything of value that's worth attaining in your life, you have to overcome difficulty. It's not going to just be thrown out there. You're going to just find you a dude that's making $200,000. He got his crib paid for and everything. If that was the case, he would already have somebody. So what you need to do is find somebody that, like you said, is like-minded, that you guys can build together and you can struggle with each other, because that's what a marriage is. If you can't overcome the storm with each other, then your marriage foundation ain't shit anyway, because you can't even hold on to different hits that life brings at you. Because you ain't always, somebody might lose their job. Somebody else, somebody might die. They might be in bad health. There are so many factors that comes with that. And if you ain't there for the long haul and you just thinking about money primarily and that's it, then that ain't nothing. Like I told you, I just gave you an example. I was making big time money. I was making well over $100,000 a year 20 years ago. And I was making really good money. And like I said, She took all the mental abuse, knowing that I was sleeping with other women and all that kind of thing because I was making money. So do you really want to sell yourself short and deal with some guy that just because he's making money, he can do whatever? Or would you rather have a guy that maybe make a little bit less or less money that you guys can build together? Those are the choices that we have. And that was a grown conversations, man.
I am so glad that we're using personal anecdotes as rules of regulations, as points of measurements, because I got one. I have all the men that I have seriously dated, I've always made more than them. And not like a little bit, but like a lot. Have my own money, have my own car, have my own, he said no, have my own money, have my own car, have my own place, right? These are men who had children. These are men who, like you had said, had child support. These are men who were not near what I made. But, you know, like you said, I believed in, you know, building and getting together with guys and building and making things happen. And these were men who, oh yeah, you know, I build and whatever, right? So you get together with these men, right? And you have to cover them. You can't go out to dinner like you want to. You got to cover it more so because they ain't got the money to go out. You got to cover it. You can't have all the trips that you want to do because you got to pay for the trips to help them as well because they're not making it with you yet. They might make it 1 year or two, but as of right now, you have a certain type of lifestyle. So now, you know, you used to go to get your facials every week. You had a good gym. You had all these stuff, but now you need to cut back on your self-care because you're together and you're trying to make shit grow. All right, right? But then as they draw from you and they pull from you and they start getting up and they start coming up, then it's like, you know what? I am the shit. I forgot. I'm a really good man. Now I'm making all this money. And they ended up, and these relationships ended, and they took all this good money, all this clean debt to these new relationships. And I was a fool, and I'm left with the debt. I'm left with the fatness. I'm left with trying to pull myself up because I was already up. I already had a lifestyle set up. Now, had I got with somebody whose lifestyle was similar or close to mine, which I have, the situation turned out differently. When I left a relationship with a man who was similar to what I had and had himself together and had his place together, I didn't have to worry about parting with so much of myself. When the relationship ended, it was like, oh, well, thank you very much. I grew from the relationship. I became better from that type of relationship. So no, I don't agree that you're going to be able to build up necessarily with those individuals. I mean, every now and then you might. I'm not going to say that there's no one out there, but one of the things you talked about before, Chuck, is the law of probability and averages. On average, most of those dudes are going to bounce out and find who they want. Those men got with those women who are making more than them because that's who they had access to. Once they got their finances up, once they got themselves up together, they went after the women who they really wanted. So all I'm saying is, not saying, and I'm not even saying, I'm not even mad at them for that. Like it's, hey, everybody wants to come up. I'm not even mad about that. But what I'm saying is, if you get with someone who's in your vicinity, it's easier for you to build up. You could struggle, but why struggle in finances because you just talked about a whole bunch of other places you got to struggle: death, sickness, illness, losing jobs. You got to struggle through so many places. Why start out in a struggle? Why not start out good so that when you encounter a struggle, you're ready? You want to be equally yoked, and you're not equally yoked if you're making Ebony K. Williams. I hate that people roasted for it. She makes, you know, she's a millionaire, and they asked her would she date a bus driver, which I feel like was very was insulting because they would not ask a white woman that question of if she's going to date someone all the way there.
Your microphone.
Oh, I got who?
Your microphone.
Let me see.
No. Hold on. I'm gonna remove you off the. I can't hear anything.
You can hear
you go.
Now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Right.
Ebony K. Williams.
So, Ebony K. Williams, she's a millionaire, and she said she would date a guy who was if he owned the bus driver, and people roasted her. They felt like she should, as a millionaire who's in certain rooms and certain environments, she should come down to someone who's making $50,000-$60,000 just because of why. Why would people want to? Why start off in the struggle if you don't have to? It doesn't make sense to
Okay.
me.
Okay. Let's look at that.
Okay.
Now, if she's already a millionaire, right?
Uh-huh.
So her business is taken care of. Is she struggling or anything?
No, she's
She's,
cool.
yeah, she's doing her ends is meeting, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a millionaire,
Mhm.
why are you concerned if somebody's already self-sufficient? I get it that most of the time people date on those who are on their level or above, but again, if you're going to do that, make sure that you date somebody that has character, that has substance and things like that. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Not just because of what their money is on paper. There's a lot bigger things than just money that goes into relationships, like I said.
Mhm.
So if she's a millionaire and some dude making 100,000, like, I mean, if they're compatible, I don't see what the problem is. You ain't taking care of him, you ain't paying his way everywhere. He could still do things for you. Like, I just don't understand why it's like such an ego thing to where on paper it has to be, he got to match up with me on paper. It's like something psychologically in you will not allow you to date down in financially. Just like with Oprah. Now remember, Stedman, I think he was worth like 50 million.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But his ends did not meet Oprah's ends. She was, like I said, she was like a tycoon. So in her thing, it would be like that. Like somebody making a million versus somebody making 50,000. It's almost like the same dynamic. But like in her mind, like I said, if she was dating somebody that was making more money than her, I guarantee you she would have married him. But it was just something in her ego that would just not allow her to marry somebody that's below her financially. And I just think that's something that's just built into, to especially black women in our community. You guys like just have this ego, saying like where it has to be fulfilled. Just like, um, I'll be like talking to some of my boys or whatever the case may be, and I heard like one of my cousins, she brought this real ugly dude to one of the functions, right? And then we was all wondering like that. I was like, that ain't acceptable. You know what I'm saying? What's up with that? And then whispered in, one of my other cousins, he was like, oh, his sex is off the hook. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's an ego thing. Why can't he just be a nice guy? You know what I'm saying? Why does he got to be something that satisfies your ego? That's what I'm saying. And that's what I think that hinders a lot of relationships. You could find somebody that's compatible with you. Okay, you said about the guy that he came up under you and then he left. But I mean, that's life. You took a chance and it just didn't work. The guy that was making the same amount of money you guys aren't married either. That's just the chances that we take in life. All I'm
Right,
saying
but
is,
I don't have as much cleanup with a guy
what
who
you mean
makes the
by
same.
clean? What you mean by cleanup?
Because with a guy who you believe in his dreams, or you help him get, move up, you helped him. You took out loans for him, or you pay for more things, or you stifled yourself from meeting your goals because you're like, okay, it's a us thing. I remember dating a guy in my early 20s and he didn't have a car. So it was like, okay, we could share my car. I would even remember being so mindful not to say that it was my car, because I ain't want his little ego. You talk about women's ego. I ain't want his little ego to be hurt. But at the end of it, I have more mileage on my car because he's been driving my car all left and right. So now my car is about to break down sooner. Now he's gone. Now I got to move out, the apartment because of all the stuff that he's done to the apartment. And I have to go and take care of it. If you date somebody who is at least close to what you have, there's not so much cleanup that you have to do as a woman. When I dated somebody, and I still made more than this guy. When I dated the guy who made more but was closer to where I was at, again, it was no loss. And we're not talking about small loss like you pay for dinner here, you pay for dinner here. It's like, okay, you're going to look for help if you're paying off your debt, because once you're dating somebody, you guys are in a relationship, you're talking about marriage, you're going to need help with your debt. You're going to want to talk about your debt. So I'm helping you pay your things down because that's what you do in a relationship. You're going to need a place to stay. So now you're living, and you got kids. So now y'all living in my house. So now your kids are jacking up my house because you don't got your own place. So now you got your little you run off. And someone said this. He said, Kev says a couple of things and about the Oprah. So Oprah and Stedman were together before Oprah became a billionaire. Stedman had more money than Oprah, or comparable to Oprah, when they started dating.
You sure? I don't know. She was
They've been
already established.
she was established, but she didn't have money. Stedman had his own money, so it wasn't like she wasn't where she was at now when she met
Right.
Stedman. They were pretty near though. So again, we're not talking about Stedman was working at McDonald's and he bagged
Right.
himself Oprah. Stedman had millions on millions. It's a difference. And if Oprah was to leave, Stedman wouldn't hurt. But also, and Kev asked his point. Can you? And I don't think Chuck. I think Chuck just cheated just cause. But Chuck, Kev said, "Can you say that having money emboldened you to cheat? Like when you had the money, were you like, more likely to cheat because you had more money?"
Now, what I think what happened with me is it wasn't because I had money that I cheated. I mean, I think I already went into the relationship looking at it, wrong anyway. But I think what it was that since I had a lot of money, I had more access to cheating. Like I said, I had a shop, and if you came into my shop, it was just like I had my regular desk in there, had a little thing, seating area. Now this is my first shop, Champagne. You met me when I had my second shop.
Yeah,
I'm talking about my first shop because I've had 2 computer shops. The first shop, like I said, when you came into the back, and even on my second shop, when you went to the back, I had my own living quarters back there. It was a living room in the back. I remember you seen that, Champagne. I had my couch in the back room.
You smashing people in the living room, Chuck?
What you think? Are you kidding me?
I sat on that couch.
Of course. What?
Oh.
That was my second crib. What are you talking about? I made it a pleasant environment for me to work in, so I could be there all day. So I had my, I had my TV, my couch back in that. I had a nice little area. I had it real nice and neat, and I had my movies back there. So when you have a storefront, there's a lot of downtime, especially my line of business. So you might only have maybe a couple people come through a day, but you would still make the money. So when so during the rest of the time, I might be in there all day and have somebody in the back. We just chilling in the back until a customer come in, like, oh, hold on, customer here. But so all I'm saying is by me having the shop in the middle of the hood with my door always open, that so many different women came through there, and they was really easy victims for real. I ain't gonna lie. Like I could easily get on with no problem because, like I said, my finances was way better than theirs. I was somebody that they looked who aspired to be, to be with a guy like me. So yeah, it was really easy to cheat. So and remember, I was a young man. I was in my late 20s, and my wife was a lot older. So remember, my sexual thing was a lot different back then. Like, I had it cracking. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't seen me, I was either getting something or I was having sex. You know what I'm saying? Hey. That's just how I was back then. So I was
money, Chuck. Jeez.
Right. But I just like I said, it was just I was young, I had money, and I had access to do different things, and it was so easy and convenient for me to cheat. It was really easy. So that's why I think, by those combinations, it was just dangerous. That's why a lot of these young guys that's in the NBA, as we see, they make a lot of big mistakes. And like I said, these older women are preying on these younger guys. Like I said, you see with the dude Drea and the dude for the Houston Rockets, like, I mean, she see a little easy bit, like, she know how to trick him and getting her pregnant and all that kind of stuff. But at that age, when you really haven't had money like that, you don't have, somebody to teach you what not to do and what traps to fall for, then you can easily make these type of mistakes because you got money and you're young. So that was more the reason why, I think that I was, a cheater because of my mindset. And then I had money and I had access to cheating. Like I said, if I ain't have my own, then, if I was staying at my mom's crib, I ain't have my own place and I ain't had no money, I couldn't have got none of this stuff off. But like I said, I had my own crib basically that the shop was, and I could set stuff off whenever.
See, money makes men feel, I bet you the confidence help too. When you have money in your pocket, when God men have money. Okay.
No, that's not true because even before I had money, like I said, I'm not a bad looking dude. I always had females and stuff. This was just what I did. I just did it at a higher level. That was it.
Yes. So yes.
But I still would have been cheating regardless. But true. I just wouldn't have been able to do it with the ease in which I did when I had my own shop.
Access to it, right? Money.
Yeah, I had more access. Right.
It's like a woman. Like you could look regular. An average woman can pull a dude. Yeah, absolutely. But a beautiful woman can pull a higher degree of
it. Yeah, I agree with that because that's what most men value is looks
they
first.
Value it.
Yeah, over substance.
Security.
Right.
All
No,
right,
I'll get it.
all right.
But see, what you don't understand is with that security, you thinking money is just the security. Money is things can happen at any time. If you get with some guy because the main factor that he was making all this money, and then something happens, like like I said, he loses his job, or you know, or he might make an investment that his investment busted, or like the housing market and things like that. And now all of a sudden, are you really compatible with this guy without money? That's the question. And if the answer is no, then you shouldn't be with the guy anyway.
And you're true. You're right. If that's your point, if you're only, and I think you're talking to women who are only looking for money, they're only ex-wife, things fell apart. That was her main, but even though I think hers is more nuances, but like, okay, like these women who are marrying these rich guys. The one chick we talked about, she started selling her body on the internet, and her dude used to be a basketball player, right? But when the money was cool,
Smith,
life was great. She ain't do nothing. But once the
Right.
money started fleeting, it's like, right? So it depends on the type of woman you go for. If you go for that type of woman, right, then okay. But if you're with somebody, okay, I'm looking for this person with this package. Someone said that in their 40s, they're looking for a woman who looks good, got a good heart, financially stable. Now, if y'all get together and then eventually down the line, that's one of the struggles you talk about. That's one of the struggles you make it through. That's one of the struggles that you work through. That's what you're supposed to do. You shouldn't be struggling so hard in the beginning. And we have romanticized this. We have glorified it. We have made it seem like, oh, a ride or die chick. And that is not what women should be. They should not be your men shouldn't even be a ride or die dude in the beginning. You should get with someone with equal footing so that you guys can take your significant stuff and you can still grow it. It's easier to take a plant and it's already halfway right here and grow into something bigger versus taking it from the seed and having to start from the beginning.
But Champagne, life is a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like from the time you left your dad's pouch into your mom, you struggled to go upstream to reach the egg. Life is a struggle. And if you are not built to struggle, then you're not going to have anything that's meaningful. So yeah, why not? I mean, I get you. You don't want to go into a bad situation to where, everything is just messed up. They're going to pull you down and all that kind of stuff. But if it's just a question of, okay, he didn't took a slide back. So now, you know what I'm saying? Just like I told you, I've taken many slides in my lifetime, but I'm still the same guy. Yeah. No matter where my money situation is, I still got a plan. So, so a woman that gets me, and with my wife was very smart. She caught me. She had a good dude. So she took her chance with me, and we coming up together. So that's why I say, we're talking about relationships with actual practical knowledge where, like I said, the conversations is different. We got what happens when you get married, you get a lot of different types of friends after that. Like they become a little bit closer. Couples become closer now, like after you get married. And the conversation is so much more different with married people than it is with a single person. Because since you're in the hunt to find that love, a lot of times you're like being real picky. You're being nitpicky about this and that and whatever. But when you get to the promised land, it's about the substance and character of the person that you're with. If it's a happily married situation. So I'm just saying the conversation got to be a little bit more grown than you just saying, oh, he's just making whatever. And you always go to the bottom of the barrel. You're like, oh, you always go to
the top. You go to the extreme. Like,
I'm just saying, you can't just deal with
people who's been married for years, not like a couple years. We're talking about 10 years or greater. And every one of these people, the majority of these people I talked to, it wasn't like the dude was struggling. It wasn't like the dude was near struggling. He was stable. He was stable.
Like I said, whoever they different. Than I know people that's been married like for a long time, and it's different. They went through their ups and downs. That's life. Man. It's not going to always stay the same. That's the thing about life. It never stays the same. So you have to be built for that.
I'm fine with that, but I'm not going to start out struggling if I don't have to. I don't recommend anybody.
That's your preference. I get it. But I'm just saying, you ain't got to go to the bottom of the barrel. That's all I'm saying. You ain't got to just go to some dude that ain't got no money and you paying for his way all the time and all that. Come on, man. Like you taking it to the extreme. There's a lot of regular
It
guys.
happened to me 3 times. It's not.
Whoa, that's
and I've met them from
so what?
different
Don't give
places.
up.
I'm not, but I've changed the way that I've operated. I've changed the way that I operate. If you keep running to this scenario, why would you keep doing it? Isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing and not changing anything.
Right. Yeah. So you
Campaign
are it. You ain't listening.
No more. We're done. We're done with Sugar Mama. You're breaking up.
Uh-oh.
Okay, there you go. You sound good.
Am I good now?
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay, I'm sorry. Probably because the music came on. But this concludes our show for today. We appreciate y'all sticking through it or whatever. Make sure you guys tune in. You got any closing words for everybody before we get up out of here?
Find somebody who is equally yoked. Also, check me out at 9:00. We're going to do True Crime with Your Bestie live on YouTube. Check me out, Champagne Crime and Story.
Okay, cool. And like I said, my final thoughts is, like I said, life is a struggle. So make sure, you find somebody that has character, that you guys are compatible, and that you could grow together. Don't just look at it on a piece of paper, because like I said, they have shows that these people up perfectly with a perfect match on paper, and most of the time it don't work. So make sure you're with somebody that you're compatible with, that you can grow with together and be happy. Take it from me, like I said, I'm practicing what I'm preaching. I'm not just saying stuff and I'm still single or whatever. No, I found the love of my life, and I'm implementing it. So I'm not directing anything towards you, Champagne. So you took that personal. I wasn't talking about you.
I did
but
take
anyway,
that one personal.
No, don't take that personal. No, you're single, and that's what you preach. But what I'm saying is, okay, and make sure y'all stay tuned to the channel too, because we're going to have some different podcasts that are going to be coming out that are in the works. So make sure you like and subscribe to this channel as well, because we're growing. And oh yeah, I meant to say it in the beginning. We are now monetized. We got 1,000 subscribers. So we're monetized. So we good. So thank y'all for y'all support. Keep on sharing the knowledge, and we will see y'all next week.
Peace.